Hey guys, welcome to Vanguard Thursdays, and this week we're going to be covering the CFOP method for solving a Rubik's Cube. By the end of this video, you'll be able to use CFOP to solve a Rubik's Cube. Now, the thing to keep in mind is we're only going to be doing what they call two-look, which is less algorithms. Some of it's more intuitive, like the F2L part and the cross, but at the end, I will give you some tips on how to learn or how to study the algorithms. Also, starting Sunday, GDT Cuber will start posting an algorithm a day for us to study. And then on Thursdays, I will put it all together and give you some easy tips and tricks that you can use to memorize it and everything like that. So by the end of all of our tutorials, you'll know all of CFOP, every algorithm. We'll go into the advanced methods later. Started. So if we start out now, last week we learned we could do the daisy flower, and that was an easy way to set up the white cross. Now keep in mind that is a complete beginner step, and it doesn't need to be done that way. You actually want to have the white on the bottom and find simple solutions that will allow you to solve the white cross with as few steps as possible. And so right there we have the white cross. But if you're not comfortable doing that just yet, just use your daisy and you'll get to the same step. But the white cross is pretty intuitive, meaning that you don't need algorithms for it. It's always going to be different and changing. You just want to work on, if you're going to get into speed cubing, you just want to work on being able to look ahead and see what's going to happen when you move this down to here. Is that going to change something over here? So that way you can go right from like moving it to here to, okay, this needs to go over here, and just to save you, to speed up your times a little bit. But for now, we're just at the beginner stage, so we're not going to worry about that. So for F2L, what we want to do is we want to match these up in pairs. Instead of doing each corner one at a time, we want to pair up so we solve two lines at the same time. Now, and we do that by finding first a yellow or a corner with white, and then the two other colors, which in this case we got red and blue. And we're going to move that over to the red, between the red and the blue, and keep the white up top. Now we want the red and blue edge, which is right here, and we're just going to move that out of the way so we can put this back, and there we go. Now when we have the white on top, we're basically going to do a side move to where we turn it one way or the other. And the way to know which way to turn that is if these two colors match, you turn it towards you, and if they don't match, you turn it away. And basically they don't match here, so I turned it away, and now they match up. I can just push it one step past and put it into that corner. Now you always want to work with just the corner you're working with, and what I mean by that is, okay, we have blue and orange here. So let's move it, and here's our blue and orange centers. So this is the corner we want to work with, that we want to move. We don't want to take this pair out or mess it up. And so if I did something like that and like this, I would completely mess up the pair. So the way to do this is to move that up one, and you can move it either way, but if you move it this way, you're moving this down. So it's better to just move it up away and then put that back. Now I can push this back to where I was. Now for me, you can have it starting here and move that over to here, but normally what I do is I put this in the corner or this corner, and the reason why is because it's like if you've watched any of Jay Perm's tutorials, he'll tell you that basically you can use your finger. If it's the same color on top, you want it to go next to it. If it's the opposite color, you want it to go down to this edge. And now if it was over here, it's the same thing. You put your finger this way, same color, opposite color. In this case, we have the same color on top. So what we can do is, again, just working with this edge, move that and turn that, and we're back right into place. Then we just move it one past, and then slide that up, and it goes right in. And now we have, you know, 2 of our corners done. And here's our next one. Now this pair, we were given a free pair, so this is actually pretty easy. Now, one thing you want to try to avoid as much as possible is what I'm doing here. You see I'm turning this cube. You want to try to make sure you're turning the top to where you need it to be, not the cube. That'll save you a little bit of time and everything like that. And we're just following the steps of the first one. If you didn't see what I just did there, it's basically, because I already had this made up over here, I just pushed this, went 1 pass, so you can tell it's 1 pass by the opposite colors line up in the center, and then just slide it in and rotate it down. Last one, red and green, it's already in between the red and the green. Where's my red and green center, which is right next to it. And I'm going to put this where I want it to be, which is there. But if I do that, I can't separate them. So to separate them, I'm going to push this way and hide it. And it doesn't matter if you moved it there or there, but basically it's just, now I can put it right where I want it. It's the opposite color. Same color goes here, opposite color goes here. So it's the opposite color edge piece. So we just do that, and then I can rotate them and put them right next to each other. So if there's anything you're looking for once they're the opposite, it's just that you're going to be working with this corner. I got all this done. I don't want to mess this up or anything like that. So I just want to work with this one corner and put it in. And there is intuitive F2L for you. Now there's faster ways to do these, and on our website there's actually a download where you can download some F2L algorithms to learn, but don't necessarily learn the algorithm. Learn what the algorithm is doing so you can memorize that. It's you don't need to know F2L algorithms. It's not imperative. It's more imperative that you know how to manipulate the pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to look OLL. And this is where we start out. If you watched last week's video, this part's going to be a repeat. You might want to skip to the part after the cross, but if not, I'll show you here. There's 3 cases you're going to have. And the first is going to be like an L or a hook. And you're going to want that L facing like this. And basically what you're going to do is what they call a wide move. And on the screen you'll see it's F, and I put a W next to it for wide. Most people will just put a small f, so be mindful that if you see if the letter's not capitalized, it means it's 2 layers at one time. So just F wide, and then R, U, R prime, U, and F wide, and now you got your cross. Okay, so a case like this where you just have the one line going across, it's going to be similar to what we just did with the L or the hook, and that's just F instead of F wide. It's just F and then R, U, R prime, U prime. R, U, R prime, U prime, F. Now we have our cross. Okay, and the final case is where you have a single dot in the center. And this is a combination of the 2 previous ones. First we do, like if we had the line, we do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F. Now we got the hook, so then we do F wide, R, U, R prime, U prime, F wide prime. And now we have the cross. And this is basically all you need to do to make the cross. Okay, so the first step with OLL, after you've done the cross, is you're going to run into different cases that look different. Now this is what they call a soon, and you can tell because it's only got one corner. And basically the way to solve this is with the soon move, I should say. And this one, in this particular case, is what they call a right soon. And by that, I mean you're going to be doing everything on the right. There's left soon, there's back soon, and there's anti soon. For the right side, you basically just want to align your yellow up to the front right and make sure the yellow corner is on the front left up top. So, and let's get started doing this. The best way, or the easiest I should say, is just to do R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, and then R prime. And there's your right soon. Now, the left soon, and there's 3 different versions you can do of this. The left soon is just the opposite of the right, where your yellow in front is on the left and the yellow on top is on the right, and it's actually just the opposite moves too. Left prime, U prime, left, U prime, left, U prime twice, or U twice, either one, it's the same thing, and then L, and you're done. Now I'll show you the other 2 cases just in case you ever want to know them, but that's really the only one that you need to know for right now. Anti-soon basically is very similar at where your left is in the front left, and on top, instead of being in the bottom right, you're going to be on the top right. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to go R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, and then it's done. Now there's one more case, and that is the back soon. And the back soon, and basically you're going to move this one over to the left corner instead of the top right or bottom right, and basically you're just going to move it R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, U2, R, and that's your back soon. Like I said, only one of these cases do you need to focus on, so whichever one's easiest for you and easiest for you to remember. Later you may want to memorize another one so you can help set up your PLL case afterwards, but for the most part, just having that one is going to get you to the solve. Okay, and the next case is going to be if what you have called headlights in the front and in the back. This is actually a really easy one to remember. If you remember the RU moves that we started with, this is just basically an F move and then R, U, R prime, U prime 3 times in a row. And on the third turn, you'll notice this pairs up, and then you're like that, and that's it for that one. And the next one is very similar, but the moves are completely different. Okay, so same thing. We start out, we have our headlights in the front, our cross on top, but in this case, instead of having the headlights back here, we have yellow facing and yellow facing away. So basically we just turn the headlights to the left, and then we do an R move, U2, and then R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2, U2, R. And that'll solve your yellow up there. Okay, now this algorithm was actually kind of tricky for me to memorize because I didn't get this case a lot. But basically, you just have 2 open corners, and you need to move it to where your yellow's facing you in the front. And you're going to do an F prime, and then you're going to do an RUR, but the R is wide. So you're going to do R wide, U, R prime, U, and then R prime wide, F, R. And it basically moves your corners into where they needed to go. Okay, and next up we have this case where we have the 2 here, but again, we face them away or towards us and away on the left side. And this is an actual really easy one. It's just 2 moves done and then reversing them moves. So you start out with an X, which is the whole cube turned R. and then you do L, U, R prime, U prime, L prime, U, R, U prime, and it solves your yellow for you. Okay, and the last OLL case is this, where you have the two open spots, and this time you have the headlights facing you. This was another one that I found that was easy to do, but hard to remember because you didn't run into the case a lot. So what I suggest you do is recreate these cases over and over as you practice the algorithm, and that way you get used to seeing it in this position and remember the move. Now, this is pretty simple. It's R2, and then D, and then R prime, U2, R, and then D prime, which is this way, and then back up, R prime, U2, and you can see we just moved them out of the way, and then just R prime. And that just basically swapped them around. And that's it for OLL. So let's go to PLL. Now I'm just going to pick up right where we left off. There's multiple ways to do when you have just the edge pieces, but the simplest way, I'm going to show you two ways to do it, and you can pick which is easy for you. But basically you just want to look at, are you trying to move this one to the left or the one from the left to the right? And here we got blue, so we want to move it over here, and that'll move these two where they need to go. So you're basically just focusing on these two colors. Which one needs to move, which one will move and be in the right spot. In this case it's blue, so we want to go to the left. And to do that, you can do this two different ways. The first way is to do R, U prime, and then R, U, R, U, R, U prime, and then put it back together with R prime, U prime, and then R2, and that'll get you. And if it was the other way, you would do just the opposite, and I'll show you that right here. Okay, so here we got the red and we got the green. The green needs to go to the right, so we'll focus on this way, and it's actually just the opposite of what you just did. You'll do left prime, U, and then left prime, U prime, left prime, U prime, left prime, right prime, left, U, left twice. And that solves it. This is a case you'll get from time to time, especially if you made a mistake somewhere along the way. But basically, it's where you want to, these two got to swap and these two got to swap, and you're just going to do that by doing M2, U, M2, U2, M2, U, M2. And that's it for that one. It's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. And the final case is a little bit, it's just as easy, but basically it's going to depend on where, like, you don't want to be facing this way when you do it. You're trying to get them to go this way and this way. So you're doing a swap. If you look, the red needs to go here, the blue needs to go here, and these two need to swap. So it does matter where the cube's positioned, because if you do this and you're going to swap these two and these two and end up having to do it again. So you want to make sure it's lined up so you're just swapping diagonally. And this one's actually just M, U, M2, U, M2, U, M, U2, M2, U. Well, U prime. And that's it. That's all of the beginner two-look CFOP method. Now, guys, I thank everybody for watching. And if you got something out of this, please hit like and subscribe. But also, starting Sunday, keep an eye out for our shorts, because GDT Cuber is going to start giving us an algorithm every day up until Wednesday, from Sunday through Thursday. And Thursday, when I do my video, I'll put them algorithms all together and show you how to practice them and the best way. But you can get a jump start on them and start practicing them as soon as he posts them. And he's basically going to be doing this every week for us until we get through all the algorithms of CFOP. And by the time we're done, you should be solving a Rubik's Cube definitely in under a minute. You could, if you're really working at it, you could actually be under 10 seconds or at 10 seconds. But this is, for a beginner, it's just a matter of learning it. So we're going to take it slow, let you learn it slowly. That way you keep it in your memory longer and everything. And thank you guys for watching. This is Vanguard T, and we'll see you next Thursday.